is you deciding that you're going to become prolific at recruiting. And it's like making a decision to get in shape, or making a decision to eat better, or making a decision to, have a more a better sleep routine, or whatever. You're kind of circling it, You're kind of circling, and you're thinking about it. You're thinking about doing it, and maybe you're here right now. Okay, I'm telling you how I made decisions that are big decisions for me. Sometimes it's not just boom, I'm doing it. Sometimes I can just decide I'm doing it. But a lot of times I have to circle it for a while. I got to write some lists, and I got to think about it, and I got to kind of, dip my toe in the water. Oh, that was a little scary. All right, I got to try it again. Oh, that was a little, no, not sure. But what I hope to plant into you is this little alarm that's going to be inside of you. You're just going to get closer and closer. I can do this. All right, I'm doing it. I'm going to make it happen. And that, if that happens in 30 days and it wasn't going to happen for 30 months, progress. We made some progress, right? Progress is perfection. For some of you, there's old programming trying to figure out. No more circles, please, Jacqueline says. That's hilarious. We draw circles, man. I'm telling you, part of what we do, we draw circles. I love the circles. Don't you love the circles? Come on. You got to draw the circle. You got to put you in the middle of the first one. And then if you just get 3, then you teach those people how to get 3. Drawing the circles, man. Opens up all kinds of stuff. Now, before we hop in to the training, I want to invite people who are in general admission. We had an awesome VIP session yesterday. Didn't we have a good VIP session? Lots of good Q&A, lots of good coaching. It was super fun. I would recommend, if you want to get access to these recordings today, yesterday, including the bonus sessions, and tomorrow, you can upgrade and get VIP access. Tomorrow's there's a 2-hour session. Today, the second hour, we have that session too, that you can ask questions and get some live coaching. So, and plus you get replays of all, 6 hours of this? You'll get replay to be able to watch anytime that you want. It's $49.99. There's the link. If you go to, it's GoProInsider.com/challenge, right? No. Just the QR code, or you can upgrade if you're in the dashboard. You see that upgrade button? You can click on that upgrade button. Okay? I would, if you consider yourself a VIP person, for me, let me tell you how I learn. I need repetition. I don't know if you need repetition, but I am a simple creature. I need repetition. First time I listened to an audio series from Jim Rohn called The Challenge to Succeed. It was 3 hours in total. It was amazing. It was awesome. But I listened to it again and realized there's tons of it that I missed, and I listened to it again and again and again. I bet you I listened to that audio program 1,000 times, literally. 3,000 hours probably of my life I spent listening to that program, and every time I was a different person. Every time I got a little bit more. Every time it made a little bit more sense. It takes a while for me to absorb. It's part of the reason why I didn't operate well in public education. Formal education. My brain, I don't know if you're like this, but I couldn't do 30 minutes of mathematics and then 30 minutes of science and then 30 minutes of history and then 30 minutes of language and then 30 minutes of this and then 30 minutes of that. It was too, maybe it makes people a well-rounded person. Didn't work with my brain. If they had 90 days of mathematics and then 90 days of history and then 90 days of this and then 90 days of that, and I could really get some traction. Oh, and that's what makes, for me, what made network marketing so awesome is it would wait for me. It would wait for me to just circle it and figure it out and absorb it. And it'll wait for you too. Okay, so again, if you want, come join us in the VIP. You'll be in the VIP session. You got to, if you click on the thing and you get yourself signed up, then you'll get an email that'll confirm, yeah? They'll get an email, and then you got to jump on that, okay? Click on the email in order to be able to get into the session when we start in 50 minutes. Now, decision. We talked about that. Decision. Oh, he changed the background, made it look nicer. Make a decision. Make your list. Grade the list. The little star system I encouraged you to use. Figure out what tools. How many of you have figured out what you're going to invite people to review? Put a 3 in the chat if you figured that out. Great. If you haven't, ask your upline, find out what's working inside your company, but have that thing. It's super important that you have that thing. So when you go into the invite, right? You go into the invite. You've got an end goal. In marketing, we call it a CTA, a call to action, where you ask people to do a thing. Okay? Now, there's 3 kind of general postures that you're going to use when you are prospecting, when you're talking to people. Based upon your I will get you is my video the best invite? Is mine my video? I don't think so. Yeah, I wouldn't say my video would be the best invite, but find something connected. Oh, your video. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best invite, Muhammad. It might be, but find something. It's so long as you have something that will capture somebody's interest. Here's all you're trying to accomplish in this invite. Get somebody to review something and get enough curiosity to take the next step. I mean, I remember first time I was exposed to this business, it made no sense to me at all. We put all this focus on, we need to show them our compensation plan. We need to show them this. We need to show them that. I'm just saying, yeah, but how many of you understood the compensation plan first time you saw it? Guess when you understand the compensation plan? When you get paid. And then you go, oh, that's how it works. Okay, I didn't see that coming. All right, fine. So let me walk you through 3 different ways that you're going to talk to people. This one. This one, and this one. 3 ways. Depends on your posture or your relationship with the other person. Okay? There's direct. There's indirect. And then there's super indirect. And I want you to think about this in terms of status. Status. What kind of status do you have with this person? Okay? Now, status. If you have status with a person, they look up to you, they respect you, you can use a direct approach. Maris, I have an opportunity. I thought about you. I'd like to share it with you. I'm going to send you something. I want you to watch it. You can be direct with somebody. So if you have status with them, Petra, I know you're looking for something. I got a business. You need to take a look at it. I'm coming over. You can be super direct with somebody you have status with. They would like to work with you. They respect you. They look up to you. Okay? Second is indirect. This is where you don't necessarily have status, but you have a kind of a peer-to-peer relationship, right? You know, maybe so there's some mutual respect, but they don't necessarily look up to you. You don't necessarily look up to them, you know, and from a status standpoint, or it's unknown. And with those people, instead of direct, you're going to be indirect. You know, I have a question for you. I want to ask you this. I'm curious about this. You know, would you look at this? Would you evaluate this? Would you do me a favor? You know, would you give me your opinion? Stuff like that. And then super indirect is someone who has status on you. Can you go recruit somebody who's more powerful and more successful and has more status than you and more success in life? Of course. But you have to do it very carefully because of the status difference. Can you recruit up? Yep, you can. Here's how you recruit up. You play yourself down, you play up to their ego, and you tell them that they're not a prospect. So if I'm calling up John, I'm saying, John, listen, I've always admired your success and your business acumen and the fact that you see things other people don't see. And, you know, I think I've watched what you've done as an entrepreneur, and I've always been impressed. And I've started a business, and I know you're not a prospect for this business. I would never assume that. But I know you know a lot of people. I know you're an influential person. And if what I did made sense for somebody that you know, your contacts, your relationship, I can do some of the heavy lifting. If you can connect me with any of those people that are ambitious, money motivated, maybe dissatisfied with their current situation, would like to help me grow this business in this market, I can make it worth your time. You know, I'll make it worth your while. Can you think of anybody that's looking for something fresh, new, exciting, a new project? And somebody like John will say, well, show me what you're talking about, and then I'll let you know if there's anything connects. And then what can I do? Guess what I get to do? Educate John. John gets to know what it is that I'm doing, but I'm always telling him, you're not a prospect, John. I just want you to know what it is, so you can think in your mind, who do you know that might be a fit for this? I would never. Oh, you probably wouldn't even be any good at this, John. Okay? So understand, don't get hung up on too much on exact scripts. Just think in terms of status. If you have status with a person, use it. Let's go. I've got a business. You have a need. Let's go. I'm coming over. Come over to my house. Watch this video. You can be bang, 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 direct, because some of these people are waiting for an opportunity to work with you, to connect with you. 2, if you're unclear on status, just ask for advice, wisdom, insight, input, feedback, etc. One that I love is, I've got a business I'm expanding in this market, and I wonder if you could tell me if you think it'll work. Do you think, if you think this product or this opportunity is viable in this state, in this region, in this country? Do you think with today's marketplace, people would find it interesting? Because I'm looking to expand, and I want to expand big, right? Asking somebody for their input and their wisdom. And again, anytime you don't have status with somebody, you have to add a little language that says, I'll make it easy on you. It's not going to take a lot of your time. You know, so you got to make it easy on somebody that, you know, because how many of you have tons of extra time? Very few people. You're busy. You got stuff going on. We lead busy lives, and we have got a lot of people pulling us you know, in order to get stuff done. You know what I found out though, for busy? You want to go recruit somebody? Find the busiest person you know. Because they know how to get stuff done. Find somebody who's just busy, busy, busy. Because They're the ones that are open-minded. They're the ones who are going to make a decision. They're the ones who are going to figure this thing out. They're the ones that, they're always interested. If I'm, not always, but a lot of times, a busy person ends up being your best recruit. They're just very resourceful. They'll find a way. Okay? So think in terms of status and what you're asking for. You're telling somebody to do something if it's direct. You're asking somebody to do something if it's indirect, and you're disqualifying somebody as a prospect for a super indirect. This is not for you, but I can make it worth your time. Guess what every entrepreneur I know, or entrepreneurial-minded or business-minded person I know, is interested in? Cash flow. They're all interested in cash flow. You know, do you know any millionaires? Probably do. Guess what every millionaire you know is interested in? Cash flow. They might not want to start a whole new business because they're busy, but they'd love to have some extra cash flow. So think in terms of that when you're approaching somebody. Now, you have a tool you're going to invite them to. You have this basic thing. And the VIP thing, we can do a little role play on this if you want, just for time. But I want to cover as much of this as I can in the general session, and then we'll continue in the VIP, okay? I promised you yesterday I was going to give you my very, very favorite. You ready for my very, very favorite approach that you can use for anybody? This is good. This is good stuff. I promise. Works in every company, in every market around the world. And again, I'm talking about recruiting a person who wants to become or who intends to build a business, not just a person who's just going to be a customer. That's pretty easy. You find a need. You have a product that meets that need. They either see it or they don't. You can have sampling programs, and you can have lots of different ways to educate people. But usually it's, people are like, I need that. And so long as you're reasonably competent at helping them become a customer without too much friction, it's not too difficult. Not too many steps, not too much inconvenience, not too difficult. For get somebody to try something. We're all willing to try stuff. Now, here it is. You ready? Question 1. You could talk to them, hey, however you approach them. This works better for here and here. Super indirect, you're going to have to think about a slight variation. Here's the question. Write this down. Have you ever started your own business? Have you ever started your own business? I'm just curious. Have you? Have you ever started your own business? And if you feel like role-playing with me, put it into the chat. Answer me, and we'll have a conversation in the chat. Have you ever started your own business? Hafiz says, I tried, but not successful. Why? Why weren't you successful? I'm curious. What happened? What happened? So here's what you're going to get a lot of. If somebody says yes, well, let's say nobody, let me go through all the answers, okay? All the answers. If I ask that question, you're going to get, no, I haven't. I haven't started my own business. Then, why not? Why not? And what are you going to get to that answer? I didn't have the money. I don't like selling. I didn't have the time. It was too risky. I didn't have a good idea. I was good at doing a piece of it, but not necessarily managing it. I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to take care of my family. The risk was just too high. I don't know what I would do. right? So if they give you your answer, why not? Oh, there has to be a reason. So no, it's just, some of them, it just never came to mind. Really? You never thought about working for yourself? Interesting. Why not? You like working for other people? Or you just, and get to the answer. And then once they give you the answer, what can you do with that answer? If there was a way that you could start a business without all those things that you're scared about. What if there was support involved in order to be able to start this business? What if there wasn't a huge investment? What if you could build it in the flexibility of your life? What if the products were already taken care of and shipped for you? What if it was all direct? What if there was training included? What if all these different things, all the regulations and rules and all that stuff was handled for you? What if you didn't have to deal with employees? What if you didn't have to sign a lease or get some sort of real estate? What if all that stuff was taken care of? Right? If blank, would you? So if all the stuff that they said that was negative, the reason why they didn't, then I could say, would you want to take a look? Would you want to know more about it? Yes or no? What are you going to get a lot of? Sure, why not? And then what are you going to do? You have the script I gave you yesterday. I've got this video that explains, it gives you a little overview, a little bit faster and easier than I can do this over the phone. If I sent it to you, would you watch it? When do you think you'd see it for sure? So if I contact you after that, you'll see it for sure, right? All right, what's the best way for me to contact you? I'll talk to you then. I got it in my calendar. I'll reach out to you then. And if you watch it before that, feel free to send me a text message or whatever and let me know that you saw it. Okay? And don't let me finish this Zoom without giving you how to close, a very specific, rigid process on how to close somebody after they've seen an exposure, how to start the enrollment process. Okay? Now, if they say no, that's your flow. If they say yes, yes. Have you ever started your own business? Yes. How did it go? Or how's it going? You're going to get one of two answers, right? If they say yes, you're going to get a couple different answers. It's tough. And let me give you a little tip. If they say they started a business and they have their own business right now, this is a psychological trigger that you should consider. Anytime they say, I have my own business right now, the next words out of your mouth should be, I bet you love it. I bet you love it. Human beings have this unique emotional need to correct the record. So if you tell them, I bet you just love it. I bet it's amazing. I bet it's spectacular. I bet it's awesome. They're going to go, well, yeah, it's not what everybody says it is. I'm telling you that much right now. I'm probably the lowest paid person in my whole company. I take all the risk. Everybody else gets paid. And if there's anything left at the end, then I get some. Some days I wonder if this was the right decision. I mean, not everybody's willing to take the risk I was willing to take. And, the economy, all this stuff going on, it's like, hey. Okay, if you say, I bet you hate it, they'll correct the record the other way. So understand this. This is important. Bet you love it. And if they say, well, not so amazing. Why not? Why not? Why isn't it amazing? I didn't think I was going to have to babysit so many employees. I didn't think there's so much risk. It takes so long to get a return on my investment. I mean, I got to deal with supply chain. I got to deal with accounting. I got to deal with all these different things. I got to deal with everything. It's just like so much stuff. Some days I feel like I don't own a business. The business owns me. Right? That's one kind of response, yeah? Now, if they give you that response, here's my answer. My answer is, look, first of all, I commend you for taking a step. Most people are not willing to take the risk of being an entrepreneur. Most people are not willing to take the risk of starting something on their own. Financial risk, time risk, reputation risk, all those other things. You are a unique person. And you should be proud of the fact that you took a step to try and make something big for your family. And a lot of businesses don't work out, you know. The United States average is $55,000 for a traditional small business. Startup costs. The costs don't end there. They just begin there. That's how much to get it going. Then they got the monthly burn, right? And 50% of those fail in the first 12 months. The fact that you have a business, you're still going, you are one of the special people. But let me ask you a question. What if there was a way that you could be in business, even have the business that you have right now, if there was a way for you to be able to get more scale, less in terms of investment, more ability to grow, more cash flow, less hassle, less risk, less stress, and maybe even surpass your existing business right now and give you an easier lifestyle. If that was possible, would you be interested in learning more about it? Because I think it is. I'm looking for entrepreneurial people. And you already proved that you're an entrepreneurial type person. So, I got this video. When can you see it for sure? Right? Go through the whole thing. Now, if they say, yes, and it didn't work out for me. Sorry. That had to be painful. That had to be hard. But here's what I know about somebody who started something once. They're going to start something again. They're not done. You got it in your blood. You're an entrepreneurial person in your nature. I get it, right? So look, why didn't it work out? Answer. Then what? What if there was a way that you could start another business and be able to build it without all the restrictions that you were dealing with before, all the challenges and the headwind that you were dealing with before? Some of them might say, yeah, I still owe money to my family and friends. I still owe money on my credit cards. This is a painful thing for me. I just need a job. How long is it going to take for the job to be able to pay that back? What if you could start a business in the little 15 minutes at a time in between the other things that you're doing that could create additional cash flow that would pay those people back and make you feel good? Is that something you'd want to explore? You already have the right stuff. You just didn't have the right idea. So if I could show you that, would you be willing to look at it? Right? I got an answer. No matter what they say. Let's say, here's another one. Let's say I'm talking with John again. Hi, John. I'm picking on John. So I'm talking with John and say, have you ever started your own business? He says, yeah, I have one right now. I bet it's going great. And he said, actually, it's going pretty good. Wonderful. How many locations do you have, John? I'm curious. Oh, I just have the one. Why? Why would you only have one if it's going good? Well, I'm only one guy. I got to run this thing. I got to make sure everybody's doing their stuff. I got to watch the kids at the office. I got to, one's a lot. I got things going on. I say, yeah, but if it's good, wouldn't you want to have more? Because if it worked great and you could have 10, wouldn't that create more leverage, more income, more lifestyle? You can utilize your talents a little bit better. Yeah, I just can't see how I would do that because of, all the different obvious headwind. Then I could say to John, what if there was a way that you could have multiple locations? You could have real leverage. Instead of just being self-employed, you got that one business, you're trading time for money at a higher level, at least you're calling your own shots. What if there was a way that other people were involved in your business? They were succeeding, and you were succeeding as a result of helping them. Would you want to have that leverage if it was possible? Yeah, I'd want that leverage. All right, great. If I could show you, take a look. Yeah, I'd take a look. Great. Some people say, well, what if they say no to no time to manage two businesses? Like, look, every entrepreneur is interested in cash flow. Everyone. What if one was much easier to manage than the other? What if one took way less stress in order to be able to grow? Instead of you have one location, instead of adding another location with huge risk and stress, you added another revenue stream to your entrepreneurial future without that stress. So if they say it's going great, how many locations? Let's say you talk to somebody. I talked to Fox Thornton. Hi, Fox. How you doing? Good to see you. If I say to Fox, it's like, hey, have you ever gone into business for yourself? He said, yeah, I have. I said, I bet it's going great. He said, you know what? It actually is. Unbelievable. How many locations do you have? He says, I have 10. Wow. Amazing. You're like in the rare air there. It must be really, really going well. Let me ask you a question. How many states are you in? Well, I'm just in the one. Why? If it's going so good, why aren't you in more states? Doesn't make any sense to me. Well, now it's long distance. I got to travel. I got to oversee. I've got them within a drive right now. And if they say, I've got it in multiple states, wonderful. How many countries? How many countries are you in? Well, I'm only in the one. What are you talking about? If there was a way to be able to do it and to create real leverage that's less and less dependent on you and more dependent on a system, that other independent people you could place in other places where they don't have a big startup cost either, would you be willing to learn more? Yeah. So what if they say, I just started a new business? That person might be in the 12 to 3 clock dial. Did I show everybody the clock dial, or did I just show the VIPs? Just VIPs? Let me show you the clock dial. I'll show everybody the clock dial. Some people are not a good prospect right at the moment. Okay? Here's the clock dial. Throw that up. So from 12 o'clock, at 12 o'clock, everything's going great. Everything's going amazing. Let's say it's a person who just started their business. They're focused on that business. They just invested their $55,000. They loaded up on family and friends and loans and banks and credit cards and everything else to get it started. They're super excited. They don't have any mental bandwidth for something different. Not a good prospect. Between 12 and 3, something changed. Something changed, but only they know. Their supplier changed. Their top salesperson gave notice that they're quitting. A competitor moved in right next door, started to poach customers, whatever. Something happened. And actually only they know about it. And during 12 to 3, they're actually a closed prospect because what they're trying to do is fix the problem. So they're heavily invested, they're newly invested, and they're trying to fix the problem. So they're not really open to other opportunities at the moment because they're trying to fix the problem that just happened. That ever happened to you? Things are moving along and something happened? You're not open to looking at anything else right now. You are solve the problem mode. From 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, something's changed, and now other people know. people in the office are worried, and people working for your company are worried, and you're a little bit more worried. Things are happening. The competitor actually opened up, and they're passing out flyers in front of your door. All kinds of weird stuff can happen. Or there's tariffs, or there's supply chain disruption, or the manufacturer that you use just went out of business and other people heard about it. You're trying to find a new manufacturer. This person is actually very closed. They have no time to look at something fresh and new. They're very closed. They're not a good prospect at that moment. But between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock, here's what happens. The person goes from closed to very closed. Something's changed now. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. So let's say you work for a company and, you just got the job and you're trying to move up the ladder or whatever. You're not necessarily a great prospect in that moment because you're excited and it's fresh and it's new. But then, people start being mean to you or whatever. There's politics in the environment. You're trying to fix that problem. Somebody's trying to sabotage you in the office. And then from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, they start laying people off. From 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, everybody knows the company's in trouble. And you're like, oh, guess what? You go from very close to open. Because now the person's like, I need to start thinking about something. Because the trend here is not good. They fought the fight. They've done the stuff. Now they're open. And between 9 o'clock and midnight, this is crisis. I just got laid off. My business is struggling. My supply chain is gone. My salespeople quit. I don't have any runway. I need a plan B. And these people are extremely open. Same prospect will go through all 4 of these, sometimes in one calendar year. This is why it's so important to stay in touch with somebody. Because you could talk to somebody and they're closed or very closed. And you talk to them in a month and they're open or very open. Isn't that interesting? Same person. So that's why you need to stay in touch. That's why you need to find out what's going on, etc. So understand this clocked out is important to know that if somebody has got something going on, they might not be a great prospect today, but stay in great relationship. So if their situation changes, they're not going to remember you, but you need to stay. Oh, sometimes they will, but you just need to stay in contact, find out what's going on. Okay. Lydia said it took her 6 months. Yeah, it's normal. So, back to this question: no, yes, escalations of yes, escalations of no. No matter what happens, I have a response. Why not? Why is this happening? Tell me more. I need to learn. What's going on? What's causing you to do this? What's stressing you out? These types of questions. If you act more like a consultant than you do a recruiter, you're going to have much bigger success. Have any of you ever worked as a consultant? Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever worked as a consultant. Any of you? All right. What do consultants do? If they sit down with a client, what do they do? In order to serve that client, what do they have to do? They have to ask a lot of questions. Because if they don't ask the questions, they don't know how to help. And that's what I want you to get to in your mind, is ask questions so you can know how to help. Needs assessment. Yeah, that's exactly. Go through a needs, those are fancy words for asking questions. Go through a needs assessment of your prospect to find out what they need. And then listen, and then write it down. I have a corporate client that I'm talking with this afternoon, working with to help them grow their business. And here's what I've done. 1, I sat down with the executives and I tried to figure out all the needs of that company, everything I could possibly figure out. Then I talked to their top distributors. What are all the needs of the top distributors? right? And I've mapped out and I've listened and understood, and where's the emotion and where's the momentum and what method of operation's working, what's not working, what could we improve. And then we're having a call today, a Zoom today at 2 o'clock to roll out some recommendations and to figure out what we're going to do first, second, third. Same exact thing. This helped me as a network marketer to recruit more effectively. Because if you're asking questions and listening, a person feels heard, a person feels like they're seen, and a person will by the time you get to your opportunity, you can say, I think I understand where you're at this moment. I think I understand what's going on with you and your life and your business. I think I have a pretty good idea of it. Let me repeat it back to you. So do I have it? Am I clear? Yeah. I have a solution. I have an option that might be a solution. And it might not. And these words actually are very helpful too. Give people an out. I have something that might be for you and it might not. My instinct is it could be for you. And if it's not, no problem. But I think it's something you should explore. If you explore this, I think it'll be worth your time. Yeah? Let me tell you, and I learned this from Jim Rohn. Be a consultant for people in their entrepreneurial journey, whether they join you or not. It's so good. It's so good. Encourage them to take an entrepreneurial step, even if it's not with your company. It's so good. So let's say somebody says, you know what? I'm not really a prospect. I don't resonate with your product. I don't resonate, with the networking thing. I'm not really open to this right now. Fine. Let me encourage you to keep searching. Evaluate this. This is one option. There are other options. Don't play small, though. The world's not served by you playing small. You're obviously capable. You're obviously strong. You're obviously intelligent. What other options have you thought about in order to be able to create additional cash flow, start a business, work for yourself, etc.? What have you thought about? Let me give you my feedback on that. And don't try and kill every one of their ideas because your idea is better, right? Just encourage them to stay on the path, stay on the journey. Have you ever gone into a store and you're looking to buy something? And, hey, I'm looking for something that looks like this. And they're like, we have something close to that, but it's not that. But if you go 3 stores down to ABC store, just three streets down, they have one just like that. It'll be perfect for you. What does that do to your building trust with them? You're like, thank you. You didn't have to do that. Or if you ask somebody, how's the special today? And they go, nah, I wouldn't recommend it. Special's not good today. Don't tell my boss because they got a lot that they're trying to sell, but not so good. I would recommend this. If you're looking for that, I'd recommend this. You ever get that from a server? You're like, thank you. You didn't have to do that, but that was nice. I appreciate that. Same thing when you're helping people down an entrepreneurial path. If you become that person that connects people, that networks, look for how can you provide value to the person that you're talking to, whether or not they join your business, whether or not they start something new. Let's say you're talking to somebody and they're selling cars, right? That's what they do. They're selling cars. And they say, I just see myself selling cars. No problem. I get it. Let me see if I can help you get a little bit more clients. Because obviously you look sharp and I think you'll take care of people. What if you posted on social media? If anybody's looking for a car, to buy or sell a car, this is the lady. This is the guy. And you tag them in a social media post after they said no to your opportunity. What's that going to do for them? They're going to go, you know what? This person's all right. Whether they got clients or not, they're still tagged in it. This person's a professional. This person's sharp. They're going to take care of you. Same thing. If somebody's selling real estate, any of my friends looking to buy or sell real estate, connect with this person. Anybody looking, for handmade stuff, instead of going on Etsy, this person has some incredible handmade stuff. If you're looking for this type of thing for gifts or whatever, go check out their site. Is that without asking for anything, without asking for a percentage of whatever it is that you sell or anything like that? Just shout them out. Will that help you in your recruiting? 100%. Will that help you with your network? 100%. Now, if a person goes from closed, very closed, to open or very open, they're going to remember you. Remember that person that shouted me out after I said no to them? I wonder what they're doing. Let me go check it out. Okay? So this process, right? This. Have you ever started your own business? I believe you can do this with every single prospect you have. Regardless. Doesn't everybody have a dream to be their own boss? Yeah. And if they don't, that's just because they got their face punched in from some previous experience. And you can take away that pain. You can say, what if there was a way that this and this and this and this and this, and you didn't have to risk everything in order to be able to do it, and you could finish what you started? Would you be open to take a look? Now, I told you there was a variance with this. Variance with the super indirect is, here's the variance. Do you know anybody who started their own business? Can you think of anybody in particular that started their own business? They said, yeah. So give me one in particular. Give me the sharpest one you know. Oh, it's this person. How's it going for them? Yeah, I bet it's going great, or whatever. They're going to give you their feedback, and then you can go down this path. See how simple that pivot is? Do you know anybody? You can even ask, do you know anybody who started a business and it didn't work out? Do you know anybody who started a business and they can't scale? Do you know anybody who started a business and they're the lowest paid employee in the business? Do you know anybody who started a business and is looking for a way to be able to not have to be handcuffed to that business, or is sick of managing all their employees, but they're sharp, they've got everything it takes in order to be able to go to the next level? Do you know anybody? What are they going to say? Yep, I sure do. Well, listen, I'm looking for people just like that. Thank you, Sandy, for reminding me. So I'm going to give you what to say. So let me pivot, right? So you've got direct, indirect, super indirect. You clear? We'll do some more Q&A and some coaching during the VIP session. But everybody pretty clear on this? Can you use this with everybody you started a conversation with? 100%. Can you search to help in this process? 100% for sure. Okay? Then you're going to go here, here, here. Direct, indirect, super indirect. Now, I told you I was going to share with you what to do. Do you have a slide on the 6 questions? See if you can find it. See if you can find it. After, you're going to use the script I gave you yesterday to get them to watch a tool. Yeah? Get them to watch the video, if that's what you're going to do. Whatever it is, the thing that you're going to do. Now, I'm going to show you what to say at the end of a presentation. This will change your recruiting results dramatically. Okay? Sandy's going to find the slides. Until that, I'm going to write 6 questions. I want you to write these down. Okay? If you're on your computer and you can grab your phone, record this little section. Just turn the audio note on and record it. Get this little piece, because you're going to need to work on this a little bit. Okay? The moment, let's say you contact somebody and you say, hey, I told you I would follow up, find out if you had a chance to take a look at that video? They say, yep, sure did. The first thing out of your mouth should be, what did you like best? What did you like best? The worst question is, what did you think? That invites a person to be a critic, actually. That's what most people say. Oh, what'd you think? What did you like best is a much better question. It has a person helps a person go into their mind, find something that they liked. What'd you like best? You know, I mean, you might get really negative people. I like the fact that it was over. I didn't have to listen to it anymore because it was a terrible video. Okay. What did you like? I like the products. It'll just give you clues. All this is going to do is give you clues. No matter if I'm talking to Dina, I'm like, Dina, what'd you like best? Whatever she says is just a clue. It's not that big a deal. Because I'm gonna ask question 2 anyway, no matter what she says. Question 2 is on a scale of 1 to 10. 10, super interested in this as a business. 1, you have 0 interest. Where are you? Role play with me. Throw it into the chat. Where are you? What are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Pretend you're a prospect again. A 10, a 7. If somebody says 7 or more, they're going to join. Okay? Just so you know. So long as you don't screw it up. They're joining. 4s, 5s, 6s. I could show you how to use this 6 questions in order to get somebody who says, I'm a minus 100 to join. What'd you like best? I didn't like anything. I hate your face. I think you smell, and I think you're stupid, and network marketing's dumb, and the product is ridiculous. Interesting. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? I'm a minus 100, pal. I don't know why we're still talking. Okay? Nobody ever really does that. It's a gift if they do, because it kind of like, it's actually kind of a little bit funny, but great. Scale of 1 to 10, where are you? I'm minus 100. Third question. Let me ask you a question. Just between you and me, I know you're not going to join this business. I know you're not interested. And I know you don't like my face. And I know I get it. But if you did, just between us, hypothetically, let's just assume you did for 1 second, okay? I know you're not going to, but I just want you to assume for 1 second that you did decide to do this. How much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? Okay, so we got the slide. We'll throw the slide up for you. It's coming right now. So you can take a picture of this, okay? Take a picture of this. Take a picture of this. What'd you like best? Scale of 1 to 10, where are you? Hypothetically, how much would you need to earn per month on a part-time basis in order to make this worth your time? Everybody has a number that's worth their time. Everybody. And if they say, I'm not interested, I understand, just hypothetically, if you were interested, if you did decide to do it, how much would you need to earn in order to make this worth your time? There has to be a number. Everybody has a number. All right, fine, $3,000. Cool. Question 4, realistically, how many hours a week could you commit to building that type of income? How many hours a week? For $3,000 a month. 10 hours. All right? Question 5, how many months would you be willing to work those 10 hours a week while you're building up to a $3,000 monthly income? How long would you give it? Because it's not going to happen in month 1. Yeah, 6 months. 9 months. Something. And then you just ask the question, and you put it all together. Their answers. If I could show you a way to earn $3,000 a month, working 10 hours a week over the course of the next 9 months, I could show you a roadmap. I could introduce you to people who've done it. You could understand what would be required, and you felt like you could do it. If I could show you that, would you be willing to at least take the next step? Learn more about the product, learn more about the compensation plan, meet some of the people, whatever. Okay? It's very difficult. If you use these 6 questions, you should be able to see the questions, Bukola, on the 6-question enrollment process on the screen. Take a screenshot, whatever you got to do to be able to see that. Okay? These work everywhere in the world, every country in the world, every company in the world, every culture in the world. You are a professional when you do these 6 things. So if I talk to somebody and say, what do you like best? I like the product. All right, fantastic. Let me talk about the business for a second. Just to give me a little framework, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10, you're ready to start as a business person. 1, you have no interest. Where would you put yourself? I'm a 1. Okay. Not very interested in the business then. I get it. Let me ask you this. Hypothetically, let's assume you were interested in the business. I'm not saying you are, but let's assume you were. How much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? Part-time basis. Well, I'm just interested in the product. I get it, but I'm just curious. Play with me for a second. Hypothetically, just between us. And these words are really, really important. Hypothetically, just between us. I'm not holding you to anything. Just for discussion purposes. Give me an idea. And we're going to go about 10 minutes over the past of the hour, or the top of the hour, so 10 more minutes or so. And then we'll take a quick break and come in back for VIP. So, how much? I don't know. If you did know, how much? What would be worth your time? $2,000 a month. Fantastic. Realistically, how many hours a week could you commit to building that type of income? 7 hours. Okay? 7 hours for $2,000 a month. Pretty good, right? That's pretty high hourly rate. 7 hours, it's like 28 hours a month for $2,000. That's like what, $75 an hour? Pretty amazing. How many months would you be willing to work those 7 hours a week while you were developing a $2,000 monthly income? And you could do this, in a part-time basis, flexible from your home. You don't have to risk your family. 6 months. If I could show you how to develop a $2,000 monthly income over the course of the next 6 months, working 7 hours a week, would you be at least willing to take a look? And even if you're not earning that, can you show them examples of other people who did the same? Can you lay out the compensation plan? Not a claim that they are going to be guaranteed this, but what it would take. What would it take on average for a person to be able to develop that type of income? What would it take? Show them a plan. Could you sketch it out on the back of a piece of paper and show it to them? Of course. Of course. Could you find people in your company that have achieved that level of success and tell their story, or maybe even introduce them to somebody else? Of course. Ask them for what they want, what they would have in a perfect world. Now, you talk to somebody who's very successful, and their time is very valuable, and they say, I need at least $10,000 a month to make this worth my time. Sorry. Well, here's what I would tell you. I get it. I understand. Your time's valuable. You're making money other places. I understand. But $10,000 a month would be interesting, yeah? In addition to everything else you have going right now. Realistically, how many hours a week could you commit to developing a $10,000 monthly income? It's real money. 10, 15 hours a week, here and there. Got it. How many months would you be willing to put into that while you're developing that type of income? I'd give it a year. Fantastic. If I could show you how to do that. If I could show you, here's why the bigger number doesn't scare me. Because if you're asking for a bigger number, that tells me you have bigger influence. You have a bigger network of people that you can reach out to and serve and help. I want you to think about how much of a hero you're going to be. Guess what your $10,000 is going to mean? That means you're going to help a whole bunch of people making $3 grand, $4 grand that are going to thank you for this opportunity a year from today. So your contribution is cool to be able to help, right? So for a super indirect person, let me say, people don't usually get irrational, but everybody always loves the irrational one. So how much would be worth your time? Somebody says $50,000 a month. Okay, how much are you making now? Do you mind me asking? I'm making $10,000 a month, but you want 50 part-time. Okay. How many hours a week would you commit? Could you commit to that? 3 hours. And how many months would you give it? 3 months. I'm like, well, this is not magic beans. You're not going to be able to drop these magic beans into the ground. It's going to grow the beanstalk up to the sky. This is a real business. So one of your numbers has to change. You got to change the months, you got to change the hours, or you got to change your monthly cash flow. Just be realistic with me. What would really be worth your time? Would every month you smile when you get paid? It'd be nice. You know, so one of those has to change. I can't give you a magical thing. Lorraine says those are the type of answers I get. If you follow the 6-step process, I bet you don't get it that much. If you do part of it, you might get it. But if you use these 6 steps, you will not. This will help you. Okay? This will help you. So, Shadi, I'll get you the screenshot. We'll talk about it in VIP, and I'll give you the slide again. So look, those are the 6 questions. Will that take a little bit of practice? Sure. But here's what I'm going to tell you. You can literally write them. You can take a picture of that 6 enrollment process, 6-question enrollment process, and have it printed out in front of you while you're sitting with them over coffee. And saying, let me ask you a few questions. Here are the questions I'm going to ask you. Question number 1, what did you like best? I'm brand new here. This is what they told me to ask you. What did you like best? Question number 2, a scale of 1 to 10. Where are you? All right, you're a 6. Okay, fantastic. Hypothetically, how much you need to earn? Okay, got that number. How many hours? Got the number. How many months? Got the number. And then if I could show you other people who are doing this, I show you a roadmap that you believe to be true and you got comfortable with the company. If I could show you that, would you be willing to take the next step? Yes or no? Could you show them the questions and still have it work? Of course. You're going to show them this is what you're going to do when you're talking to somebody. Right? So this is hopefully demystified for you. 1, make a decision. 2, make your list. 3, grade your list. Start with the easiest first, or the highest chance first. 4, figure out what you're going to invite people to. I gave you a little script for that. How to invite people. 5, start as many conversations as possible. And from those conversations, some of you have already recruited someone. 6, the best question, direct, indirect, super indirect. 7, the best question I know, have you ever started your own business? And whatever answer they give, you got a response. 8, after, invite them to the tool, follow up effectively, follow that script. After, the moment they're done with an exposure, no matter what the exposure is, what'd you like best? They try the product. What'd you like best? They look at the comp plan. What'd you like best? They attend a Zoom. What'd you like best? They watch a video. What'd you like best? Yeah? Scale of 1 to 10, you got a little structure. For me, I needed structure. I couldn't just be myself. I needed a framework. Direct, indirect, super indirect. All right, got it. You know, what's my script to invite somebody? A script to invite somebody. What am I inviting somebody to? What's my 6 questions afterwards? Basic stuff. But what I've tried to do in 37 years is take the complicated and make it simple. So before we wrap, I do want to say, and give me 7 minutes, okay? Give me 7 minutes. Everybody cool? Then you can disappear into your weekend after the VIP session. And I hope you enjoy yourself. I'm headed to Dubai on Sunday, and then to Kazakhstan. Go visit Borat. No, just kidding. But my first time to Kazakhstan, I went to Uzbekistan, 6 months ago. So it'll be interesting. So I'll send a postcard. But I would invite all the people in General Mission to come into the VIP session today and also tomorrow. A 2-hour, more coaching, get it solid, really make it work. Okay? You'll get recordings of all of this. It's $49.99. You can go to this QR code and you can join. Now, I want to tell you one other thing that you can kind of join and get some extra value. Many of you already know about this. If you're already in GoPro Insider, put a 1 in the chat. Already in the GoPro Insider program, put a 1 in the chat. If you're not, I'm going to invite you to join. This is the best training I've ever done. I've been doing this long time, 37 years, and I'm a huge believer in micro-learning, and I'm a huge believer in immersion, and I'm a huge believer in spaced repetition. Learn, do, learn, do, learn, do. So what I create with this is a daily video message every single day. 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Average is about 7 minutes. I'll take a concept like, have you ever started your own business? Or a concept like direct, indirect, super indirect. And I'll talk about that concept. I'll give you an assignment. It's delivered every single day of the year. It's available for 24 hours. So there's urgency to go check it out once a day. You're already scrolling tons of screen time. Just take 7 minutes of screen time. Schiffer said Les Brown was on today. Great. My friend Les Brown. I have different top celebrities and different people in there as well, in addition to what I do. But that's every single day, and it's thousands of dollars worth of content. It's available currently in 6 languages: English, French, German, Italian, Polish, and Spanish. And we're adding more, but that's what we have right now. Okay? 6 different languages. The basic membership is $19.99 per month. $20. $20, you'll get a lesson every single day. And how many ideas do you need to pay for this? You're going to get at least 30 ideas a month, 30 different trainings a month. You just need, what, one idea a year to pay for this, probably? But you're going to get at least 30 every single month. It's 67 cents a day, $19.99, over $1,000 worth of daily training. Here's what 7 minutes a day, 365 days a year is. It's 42 hours of content. And if you can find a better resource, then go find it, but it doesn't exist. 42 hours of content over the course of a year. You give also. I have a home study course to help you with your first 10 recruits called The Path to 10 Recruits. That's a $300 course. You get that for free. Okay? Now, if you decide to go annual, which you can do annually, it's $189. Just make a commitment. I'm committing for my next 365 days. I'm going to participate in it. You got the daily training videos, Path to 10 Recruits, and admission to future challenges. That's the basic. $19.99 a month. Now, there's a Prime membership that's you get, in addition to everything else, you get 15 more of my best-selling video home study courses on top of the daily videos. Those are all the home study courses that you get access to while you're a member. This is $49.99 per month. You get free VIP access to the challenges that we do throughout the year, like this. So that's $50 that you would get free access to. You get 15 of my best-selling video home study courses. It's, $6,000 worth of value. You can get it for $50 a month, or you can pay annual $489 for the year. Here's what you get if you pay annual, $489. If you can spend it $500 any better anywhere, go do it. I just don't think you can. Spend a better $500 to be able to grow your business. It's $1.34 a day. You get the daily training videos. You get VIP tickets to each of the challenges. You get the Path to 10 Recruits. You get 15 best-selling video home study courses. And you get a ticket, a free ticket to the 2025 GoPro Experience, December 5th through the 7th. So I mean, I give you everything in the kitchen sink. Okay? Everything in the kitchen sink. And I also, those of you who decide to pick an annual, I've got an additional membership bonus. I have a recruiting momentum roadmap. These are some of the top recruiters in network marketing. It's a replay of what I did in 2023 with some just amazing recruiters. Some of these people recruited 1,000, 2,000 people in order to be able to grow their businesses. And they share their secrets on how they did it. The 6-question close that I talked about today, sample scripts for 21 objections. That's all included in there. I'll give that to you for free if you join either one of the annuals. So here's your choices. Here's your choices. GoPro Insider, $19.99 a month or $189 a year, or Insider Prime, $49.99 a month. And if you join Insider Prime, like right now, you'll get VIP to this challenge, which means that $50 you paid for VIP, you can have Insider Prime for a month and just try it out. If you don't like it, cancel. But look, this is the best community. There'll be more big earners come out of this program than any program that's ever been created in network marketing. Let me work on you. If you got value in the last couple hours, over the course of the last couple days, let me work on you for a year. Let me have you be my new project. Let me help you get into a higher level of potential for yourself. So just make a decision. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you win, and I'd give this to you for free if I thought you'd value it. Guess why? Guess why? If you've already paid for VIP and you want to get the $50 VIP for today, or this challenge, you want to get the $50 credited towards your annual, just email support@networkmarketingpro.com and they'll take care of you. Support@networkmarketingpro.com, they'll take care of you, okay? So, look, I want to see you win. I want to see you crush. Get connected to what it is that we're doing and let me cook. Let me show you, Isabella, what you can do. Let me show you, Christine, that you got this. Let me show you, John. Let me show you, Peter. There's another level. There's another level. And I can help you unlock it. I've helped over 1,000 people make $1 million a year or more in this business. I've helped tens of thousands make 6 figures. If you're looking for a breakthrough, I can help you. So come join me. Let's talk every day. Just a little 7-minute coaching. Imagine I just come out of your spare room and I give you 7 minutes and then I close the door and let you go on with your life. That's kind of how this program works. So have me in your pocket to be able to, if you got questions, figure stuff out. We've got the whole platform to be able to deliver for you, and spaced repetition over and over and over again. Help you circle this thing until you hit the bullseye. Bang. Okay? So that's it. I'm going to take a 3-minute break. 3-minute break. VIPs, just stay where you are. Or do you need 5? Alexi? All right, 3-minute break. 3-minute break. The homework, here's the homework for everybody. VIPs, stay where you are. The homework is this. I gave you a plan. Now you need to do your part. You need to talk to more people. You need to ask more questions. You need to work on these little scripts, and don't worry about being perfect. Just write down word for word, put it in front of you, and say those words. And even if you've got to tell the person, hey, look, I got to say these words, I guess. It'll be fine, okay? If you've already paid for VIP for this challenge and you'd like to credit it towards any one of the GoPro Insider memberships, just email support@networkmarketingpro.com and they'll help you get that credit taken care of. No problem. We got you. All right, everybody in GA, great to see you. Have a spectacular weekend. Go out there.